we get into that. I feel like we need to vamp. Is what our producer Daniel Nagami calls it.
Okay.
Vamping. You know why? It's because then we get filter people in before we start getting into you. You smell like drugs.
Whoa!
What?
Whoa!
So, every single week you smell like something different. Last week it was the beef that you stuck in your mouth. It smells like whatever. But we're going to be talking about all that. We have a lot to discuss. How's your guys' week been? Tiring?
Yeah.
Yeah, great, good
Longest
answer.
week of my life.
Why?
I had the first 3 days I had to encounter my ex-girlfriend again.
Ooh, this is going to be a good quest for players.
Yeah, right. I can't wait.
That was not fun. So that was draining. That was very draining. And then the last few days were I was just kind of going through the motions. I knocked out early yesterday. I was like, oh, I can't.
Yeah,
do
you
it.
forgot to do one of your jobs. How about you? How's your life been?
Pretty good. It's entertaining. Busy. Had a family dinner. That's about it.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us in the chat right now. We are happy that you're enjoying the show and welcome everybody that's new here. And if you are joining us for the first time, we have this thing. You can interact with the chat. Great people in there right now. Edward Sanchez. We got Henshins and Helmets, Layla, Blackwing. All you guys are great. And wait. Hi, Dad. I don't know what that means. Layla said, hi, Dad. She was talking. Maybe your dad's in the chat. Who knows? But we have a lot. You guys have a great community. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us. You guys even pulled me away because my USC Trojans right now are currently playing against the Texas Longhorns. I don't know what the score is, so don't spoil it. So that's that. Now, we can get into some Power Ranger topics. By the way, happy Batman Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Happy Batman Day.
This has nothing to do with Power Rangers, but it is Batman Day.
Yeah.
You guys are excited about the DC streaming service?
It's released
Nobody
today,
cares
right?
about that.
It
Robin
got
and
released
Robin, man.
today. Oh,
Does-
yeah, Robin. Mm-hmm.
So, there you go. We're going to be talking about Power Rangers. Let's get into it real quick, though, with a quick episode review of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, Prepare to Fail. Okay, so now we know that this episode focuses on Sarah. Let's just talk about a generalization of what you felt about this episode.
It didn't connect. It didn't make sense because earlier Sarah's prone to cheating to get her way. So
we know Sarah's a cheater now, and wow, amazingly, she didn't cheat and she actually passed it. Like, had the highest score in class.
And
I don't know
we
about
also
that.
learned she's kind of like not a pack rat, but she's kind of an unorganized person.
She's a hoarder, guys.
Yeah. She kind
Sarah's a hoarder.
of like messed up Mick's little workshop with some stuff that she's doing, but she keeps putting it off.
Yeah.
She's a mess. She's a mess.
She is a mess. I also...
Sometimes the most beautiful people do the ugliest things.
Are you guys a little... because to me, I think that Sarah is my least likable character on the show.
Really.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
a toss up between her and the Red Ranger.
You don't like Brody?
Oh wow, really?
He seems so bland. Like he doesn't have that leadership role. He doesn't feel that leadership role, I think.
Who do you think on the team does?
Honestly, the Yellow
Say
Ranger,
that-
I think.
Oh,
Calvin?
wow.
You're
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
If anybody's the leader on that team, I think it's either the Blue Ranger or the White Ranger.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. You're crazy. You're crazy. All right, so let's talk about the overall thoughts on the episode, because I did feel like this episode in as a whole was a pretty decent episode. It was well told. However, I think that it went full Looney Tunes with the fart jokes.
Yeah.
Dude.
And I think that's what the detractor is for me is I mean, man, you can do so many great things with these characters, and then you revert
Look
back,
at
and
that.
that's
They
what I'm
had
like.
a trash can full of just pork and beans. It is like physically impossible for someone to eat that much pork and beans.
Well, we already know that. And I mean, we're accepting the fact that magic exists and it turns these guys into ninjas. So I think you can deal with them eating that amount of pork and beans. The problem is, it was too cartoonish. Like you said, it just got too annoying. Reverting it back. You guys are really getting up there with like the physical comedy and just stuff where people are really enjoying it. And you're like, all right, now goo goo ba ba. Like, let's go down to the kids.
Yeah.
And it was just like, man, so bad.
And then she had the gas mask on hand already. It's
Dude,
like, come on, really?
come on.
Can two
Well, I mean,
convenient-
I didn't. Come on. at the end of the day, it's a kid's show, and I don't blame the convenience for that.
It's a live action cartoon.
I do feel though that like the fart stuff was a little too far.
Yeah.
Like even Bulk and Skull weren't that ridiculous.
And then they broke through the door like
he blew the
I actually
door
like that.
off.
I actually did like that.
You thought that was realistic?
He blew the door.
I think it was fun. I mean, but that's my whole point. Is I don't think the show needs. But like at the end of the day, they're fighting monsters in rubber suits. How realistic are you going to be?
That is true. That it like trying to rationalize everything is just kind of ridiculous for a show like this. But still, I mean, the seasons before, early on, like the Saban era, they were kind of grounded. So
They were kind of grounded. This
Not-
let us know that
the
there's
storylines.
no-
I mean, I'm not like this.
Wait a minute. Time out. The storyline for this overarching storyline is the same one for Dino Charge. What's the difference? It was a dude looking for his father. Like
No, I'm talking about like in the past scenes, let's say like Time Force or Space.
Oh, yeah, realistic. That's realistic.
Or Lost Galaxy. Just wait.
Okay.
The things
What?
the things that they had to deal with were a little bit more grounded than the things that.
No. What makes time travel more grounded than fart? Like realistically, farts are real. Time travel at this point in time or not?
But excessive farts are not, my friend.
I don't understand.
And breaking,
I've hung around you enough to know
and
excessive
then
farts are a real thing.
And then breaking through a door, like, and it just like shatters and disintegrates. Like the physics in this doesn't make any sense.
Yes, because when you walk through a portal and end up in another dimension, that makes complete sense to me.
Or you happen to have these suits that turn you into power. Yeah.
I
We're
mean,
accepting
look,
everything
realistically,
else.
I think it does bring the show down a bit. I think that like the fart jokes are too far, and I agree I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You mean in the tropes of sci-fi genre,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
doesn't have a place in it.
Yeah.
I agree, but I also don't think this season specifically. I think this season specifically is targeted towards a younger audience than we've had in the past of Power Rangers. Would you agree?
Yes, and it's sad that that's how you're ending it.
Oh, you mean the
would've
Saban
grown.
era?
No, I mean, yeah.
Or the series
This is it.
itself.
Well, no, the Saban era and the series,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
season. It's like two things you're hoping for as probably an actor. You're waiting for, I want that ramp. I want
But
that
do you
ramp.
think,
I don't
honestly-
want the slope. I want the ramp.
Honestly,
That's
do you
how
think
I
it's
wanna
going to be
end.
any different with Beast Morphers?
I do.
You do. It's the same
I am
creator,
hoping.
same executive
well, okay,
producer,
fine.
same
hoping.
writer.
I actually think you guys should make a gentleman's
I'm
bet
hoping.
on this. I think that there should be actual stakes, not just a bet. But I
Okay.
think that because you think that it will be more advanced storytelling to
I'm
capture a
hoping.
little bit of an older audience. You don't. You think it's going to be more of the same.
He thinks it's gonna be worse.
I think the stories are going to be a little different because of where it's set, but I think it's still going to have that same tone.
I'm going to agree with Jezzer for one reason. Because they're casting a comedic duo.
I'll just say, yeah, okay.
If
and then
that
I
weren't the
remember when you
case,
said
then I would be more on Daniel's
that.
side.
And then also Chiplin saying that we need to go back to our
Yeah. But
our
to be
roots,
fair,
and that,
though-
that equals fart jokes.
To be fair, Ghostbusters had a comedic team.
Slimer?
They had like funny characters in it too.
Look, just because you can be funny.
Yeah.
You can be funny, but still, like the Avengers is a funny movie.
Yeah.
Like realistically,
Thor.
like
Right
Thor. Yeah,
below.
you can be
It's a
funny,
great
but like I think that when you push that kind of agenda, look, think about this, man. This episode is about the Pink Ranger, and we've spent most of the time talking about how
Victor and
dumb
Monty
comedic
fighting.
it was, right? Like
Yeah.
that. Isn't that the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't connect. You don't connect with the main story that they're trying to pitch to you, or you don't. And it doesn't. Is it a continuity problem? Like they're not building off of the episodes before, or they just don't care anymore.
I don't know if it's that they don't care. I mean, look, I think that realistically, I've never heard a cast reaction the way I heard when they announced Power Rangers Ninja Steel. Number one.
Okay.
I agree.
Based on that reaction, they should have known, oh, wow, there are actual fans that are tuning in to see a story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in the mindset of Chiplin, I'm not blaming Chiplin, it might be a Saban mandate, but I think that there's a problem, a disconnect, if you will, between making the studio happy, but also serving the storyline. And I think this is the biggest issue that they're facing. And I don't know who's really at fault here. Now, I do want to bring up another subject of the Pink Ranger. What's her name? Sarah.
Yeah.
The reason I find that she's the most unlikable character is because I don't feel like she's been unlikable almost in every episode. Not her as the actress, but like her character.
her character.
Hasn't really, like when she was like the smart aleck know-it-all that would cheat to win.
Yeah.
Now that there's this, it's kind of like you didn't learn your lesson the first time around. You're kind of like just coasting through things.
And then at one point she's like, "Oh, does anybody want to go to the movies? Anybody want to go to the movies?" And everybody, all of her friends that are her friends that she's supposed to trust or she's supposed to have this bond with, they're like, "No, we should study. We should study." And yet she just doesn't. She's like, "No, it's fine. It's fine." It's like it doesn't make any sense for her. It doesn't make any sense for her to like not go against, but to not trust that her friends are making the right decision. I mean, it's a 5-to-1 thing.
There's no consistency in her character as far
Definitely.
as some of the decisions she makes from episode to episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
and then
that's what makes her
no character progression.
Yes, that's what makes her unlikable to me. I can't connect to a character who doesn't progress.
Yeah.
Everyone else has in some way or
It's
another.
interesting you say that. I don't think everybody has because I think some of them are stagnant. But I think that
stagnant, where they
Brody. I think Brody's stagnant.
But his story went all the way up to finding his brother and then his dad, and that's where
it's over, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But he's the Red Ranger. It shouldn't be over.
Yeah, the Red Ranger.
Was there not growth? That's what I'm saying. So the thing is, they may be stagnant after they've grown to the most. Going from not having a brother, his search for his brother, finding his brother, and then after that teaming up with his brother to find his father. All these things you kept learning about him through all of that.
I also think that the difference is that with Brody's character, he adapted really quickly to living on Earth.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
he did.
He adapted super fast
to
living on Earth.
Well, I mean, how old was he when he left Earth?
What's it matter?
I mean, you don't really just forget that stuff, right?
It was like 10. Wasn't he like 10?
Maybe. I guess.
At that age, you definitely don't forget, man. And he forgot.
So my problem with this season is the inconsistencies, and I'll give you a great example.
Okay.
Me personally, Preston's a magician. When's the last time we've seen him use magic?
Oh,
when he made the cage.
The heart.
That was the last time I saw.
No, when he did the heart.
Oh, that's
thing,
true. Yeah, I
when
guess that's true.
He does it.
yeah,
He does it.
yeah,
he does
right.
it like here and there, and
That's true.
He used it to impress the girl. The one
No,
person.
but I'm saying using
I
it
thought
for-
you were never supposed to use your
for-
powers for personal gain.
That's not.
No,
That's
no,
not
it's
Power
magic.
Ranger powers.
Isn't that psychic? No, that's psychic.
It's just
No,
magic.
it's
It was
just magic.
magic.
It's like sleight
David
of hand,
Copperfield did that once.
The person I think that's been most.
Copperfield's done a lot to go ahead. For
The person
personal
I
gain.
think that's been most consistent in the show is probably Levi. Like his character hasn't really
he
changed.
hasn't done anything.
Like,
Hey,
he's still-
Levi's great. By the way,
he's still like, oh, I'm gonna sign all these signatures. And I'm at the school and no one bothers me. But when I step outside,
honestly,
everybody's
I do like that though. I do like the fact that they're like, okay, the first season with Levi, when he got to school, nobody cared. But now I actually like the fact that they pick up the country music star thing.
Yeah.
And he gets bombarded by fans because this is what would happen.
It is.
If
Yeah.
that was what,
Yeah.
like, you're the Levi of hashtag show. So this is what
need
would
a
happen,
hat.
Levi,
I need a hat.
if this were to happen. All right, so overall, though, I thought the storyline was decent with the monster playing possum.
Yeah.
And then kind of like luring them in. I thought it was pretty smart.
I do
I
like
mean, once
like
it happened, I knew it.
I like that they're giving like these monster of the week a little bit of character than they did
Yeah.
before, where it's just kind of like a quick, I'm here, you kill me, and then I'm gone.
Yeah.
He had a plan. He's a little bit more interesting. And then who's the second of in command below Odious? That other
Oh,
handmaid.
yeah.
They're trying to do something with it, but I feel like Madame Odious is not. I don't see her as the big bad for the show. Either someone's gonna come back or someone's gonna take her place.
So,
Yeah.
first of all, in the chat, we want to interact with you. That means hit us with your rankings, not rankings, what do I call these? Like your Ninja Star ratings for this episode. And Super Chat, if you want to make sure your comment gets read. What the Super Chat feature does, help support the show. And also for you guys, we'll get your rankings in just a second. However, before we do that, we usually do this on Retro Wrap-Up. Now we're getting into this here on the Wrap-Up. There are notes for this episode already.
Ooh.
The plot where the Rangers get overconfident, almost lose, is similar to the 3-part episode Dark Wish from Power Rangers Mystic Force. Except it was done in 3 parts, but Blackwing doesn't like 3-parters. We probably didn't watch
No,
that.
so that's probably why they didn't do it.
This episode marks the return of Skull Gators since the Ninja Steel episode, The Royal Rival, which was where we got the Lion Fire Armor. This also marks the second time Badana uses the Gigantify Ray, and also the first time she sent out the Skulligators. There are some errors in this episode as well. So when Badana sends down the 4 Skulligators, she presses a blue button, which grows the monster, instead of the red button, which is meant to send the Skulligators on the Cosmic Stage console. Badana is from Dino Charge Dimension. So,
Oh, really?
so it's bizarre how she knows Tynamon or any of his secrets. She must have known him from some time to gather that information, which she never does, or it's never been shown. Also, 3 of the lids on Preston's datacomms were open, while one of them was still closed after Badana, Tynamon, and a few dressed up as Basher bots appeared to introduce Brax. In the shot, they were returned to the Warrior Dome. It happened the opposite way, where 3 of the lids were closed and 1 was open. So that's a little bit of an error, but not much.
Maybe she couldn't see the button color when she's,
Yeah, in the
character
mask,
has a mask.
yeah, right?
Look at that. So we already have some rankings so far. DDT Cosplay ranks at a 1 out of 5. We got Jaleel Smith ranks at a 7 out of 10, which we're going to sum up to a 3 out of 5. Blackwing gives it a 0.5 out of 5. Steve Rogers, Captain America's in the chat room, guys. Gives it a 2 out of 5. And Daniel Romano gives it a 2 out of 5. I think that the storyline is pretty solid. I just don't think that the farting stuff worked. With that being said, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2 out of 5 as well.
I give it a 1.5.
Have to be different.
Not a good episode.
Low rankings
We're all going right. You're turning left.
That's a term. I'm making it.
Low rankings across the board. All right, guys, we're going to start getting into our news topics of the week. This is what you guys all wanted to know about. Also, like I said, if you guys want to chime in on any of these news topics, use that super chat feature. That helps support the show, but it also gets your comment across better. And also, if you want cool Power Ranger shirts, check out our TeePublic store.
Yeah.
We have some great Power Ranger shirts in there. So anybody that's going to be going to New York Comic Con, I'll be there with you. And we want to see you guys rocking one of these shirts. You guys rock one of these shirts, Jezzer or Levi Preston, or Levi will take a picture with you. So, yeah, check out our cool Power Ranger shirts. The hottest seller is definitely the Power Rangers and Space shirts.
Yeah.
Followed up by actually Once a Ranger.
Aw, damn.
Bet you didn't see that coming, yeah.
No.
Kaboom.
So let's get into some of these news topics right now. Oh, by the way, the link's in the description below. Hit that, check out that link to get any of those shirts at tpublic.com. But now let's get into some of our stories. First topic of discussion today. Power Rangers Legacy Wars iOS codes no longer exist. I found this out the hard way. And this actual story came because I did a little digging with some help from Toku. But any of you guys playing, first of all, baseline, any of you guys playing Legacy Wars?
I play it every once in a while. It seems like every time I turn it on, I have to update it, and it takes a while.
Yep.
If you're not in like a place with like good Wi-Fi, you kind of just screwed over.
I kind of like, oh man.
And I just I like actual buttons. I don't know. So if there's
Well, then embrace the future.
yeah, I'm sorry. I like actual for stuff like this. I like actual buttons that give you a little give when you press them. So
Okay. Are you playing this at all?
No, because of the uploading.
Okay.
Honestly, because of the uploading. I said, forget it. I just deleted it again.
oh,
So I think the uploading's fine. It works perfectly fine for me.
I mean, no updating out.
But with this, it does give an advantage. Now, I think that my biggest problem with this is that there was no real, like, this was such a small blip on, like, their update that it wasn't, nobody knew about this until we put it out here on Hashtag Show.
how did you come across it though? Like
So remember when we had those codes that we were giving out and for the prom?
yeah,
I got all 3 of them. And remember, I was like trying to figure out how to put them in.
yes,
And then Josh was like, well, it should be in this part of the thing.
Yeah.
So I hit up the contact support, and I asked, I was like, hey, why am I not able to put codes in?
okay.
And then they said, well, due to Apple's policy now, you can no longer use codes, or that's a feature that we're taking out. And I said, well, doesn't that give people that aren't on iOS a disadvantage? He's like, well, we're going to discontinue codes altogether, but you could other people can still use, Android users can still use the codes, which does definitely give you an advantage if you're an Android user. Now, the thing that they did announce was that they were going to discontinue the codes. However, they didn't. Like, there was a lot of announcements that they did at Power Morphicon about the game. This didn't happen to be one of them.
Yeah, and this
So-
is a big one that you should have.
Do you think there's a reason why Enway like just kind of like gave us all these codes for no reason, or like for just like, oh, here, have all these codes, knowing that you're not going to be able to use them in
I
a few
wonder if
weeks.
that's why they did it. It was like,
Not going to be able to use them in a few weeks.
Take them all, they're all great. Ha! He just
Well,
gave
no,
all
I
of them.
don't think that's the
Like,
case. I think that I think it's a huge disadvantage. I think that there needs to be a compensation. I think that they need to balance the game. Realistically now, for me personally, it's kind of turned me off to the game. Like, I kind of don't even want to play it anymore, mainly because I do feel like there's a small disadvantage there. But now, this is definitely listen, I like the game in general, but I do feel that if you want to win, you have to pay to win.
Oh, is that what that's why they're getting rid of the codes as soon as they start that subscription thing.
Well, that's already kind of started,
Yeah,
but
that it kind of.
But
plays out perfectly.
microtransactions, it's just like, that's what they want instead. And that's what they've always most likely wanted. So now with this happening, it ushers in the option for them to say, well, now we're evening the playing field. You want to get better? Pay for it like everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this game would do probably more successful on a console, kind of like how Injustice is. And a game that you actually play.
Man,
and have like a story like Injustice has?
Yes.
Yes.
It would be
awesome.
dope. That would be a great one to do.
Yes. We got a super chat, guys. This is from Toku Kid, team member now of Hashtag Show. Says Apple Terms and Services hates redeemable codes. Well, you know what? Apple Terms and Services.
What do you think the reason is behind that?
I don't know.
Well, it has nothing to it doesn't really affect them. So why?
Look, at the bottom line is though, Blackwing says this game wants your money. Every game wants your money. It's not just this. It's not relegated to just this game. They wouldn't make a game if they didn't want your money.
Exactly.
And look, it's the same thing with their Power Ranger action figures. They want your money. Like at the bottom line, make money. Mm-hmm. That's it. So certain things have to suffer. I do think though that this is I'm getting more out of the game. I was kind of hyped about it when we were doing more of it. I still am playing it, but
when it
it's
first came out, Joe was like,
well, even now I'm playing it. I play it all the time, but I do think now that this has kind of like turned me off to it. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if it's even worth trying to come back in. But I'm kind of like whatever on
really,
it.
I don't know. It is trippy because I do remember like you were to this game like L is to Pokemon.
No, I mean I was never that hardcore of a player.
L is hardcore in Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Then maybe not that much. But you were like, yeah, you should get the game. The game's great. Play the game.
I mean, nothing's free in life.
I think if they put it like on console like PS4, Xbox, I think it'd do better. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to change up some things.
You're gonna have to upgrade a little bit, but still it's fine. Go for it.
Yeah, I don't know about I don't know how I feel about the system, the actual fighting system in the game. Mm-hmm. Like another game that I do like playing is Marvel. I think it's like Contest of Champions. I think it's more fun.
I love that one.
Is that the one that they always have ads for on?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
But like this game's a lot harder in not just harder, but it doesn't like sometimes you don't have the block feature should just be a feature, right?
Yeah.
Like in every fighting game.
No, I mean on most fighting games, if you just hit back, if you step back, you're automatically blocking. Yeah. I mean, it should be second nature for a character to just defend themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It should be like part of the AI, but no, not here, buddy.
Yeah, I think that there needs to be some reworking on the fighting system. But other than that, I'm Legacy Wars. You got to do a little bit more to impress me as a fan, and you gotta pump it up, man, pump it up.
Especially if you're gonna start charging, you gotta fix things if you're gonna start charging.
Oh yeah, if you are, there's a lot of things that need to change.
All right, let's move on to our next topic. This is the Super Ninja Steel remaining fall schedule.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Jezzer, give us a rundown of the remaining fall schedule, if you will.
Episode 20 is called Nexus Power.
Well, you're gonna start straight up episode 20, huh?
That's what it got.
No, there's another article in there, buddy. That's I don't think you're. Hold on, go. No, the other way. Go the other way.
Go the other way.
The other way. Oh, look at that!
Oh
look
my
at that!
God,
Come
I don't know
on.
how to read.
There's another story.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's go. Let's give me some episode descriptions.
We heard about Sheriff Skyfire last week.
Yep, I'm excited for that.
That's episode 14, airing September 22. Madam Odious calls Sheriff Skyfire to arrest the Power Rangers. So that's gonna be cool. He looks cool. If I was still cosplaying, since I'm retired now, if I was still cosplaying, I'd try to make that. But we'll see.
He's retired. No, it's not a we'll see. You're retired.
Episode 15 is called Tech Support, airing September 29th. The evil typeface attempts to render the Power Rangers' weapons useless by means of a computer virus. Oh. But 16
Could
is
that
to
be an
announced.
introduction to Beast?
No.
Morpher?
No.
Sorry.
That would be cool, though.
They weren't that forward thinking.
16, the synopsis is the Rangers must combat a new monster who steals electricity from cars to charge the city. 17, Madame Odious' monsters seizes the ninja power star and attempts to steal Levi's voice to unlock his power. So she's like...
well, I kind of like that.
She's like the octopus lady from Little Mermaid.
Or Ursula.
Ursula.
Yeah,
Ursula. I can't remember her name. Ursula. 18, a robot named Tynamon, who is on this week's episode, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Kidnaps Mick, allowing Madame Odious to launch her diabolical final plan. So I think that's what we saw in the preview.
Trailer?
Yeah, where he's evil. So that's gonna be cool. 19, Madame Odious hosts auditions for a new Galaxy Warriors TV show that will manipulate the minds of the audience worldwide. That kind of reminds me of like the Riddler from Batman Forever. Episode 20. After merging with the Ninja Nexus Prism, Madame Odious reaches her ultimate form and presents the Rangers with the
no,
final
you shouldn't
test.
have read that at all.
Why?
Why?
You just said after what?
After Madame Odious merges with the Ninja Nexus Prism.
Yeah, I didn't want to know.
Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of like spoiler.
we also get a Halloween special, which is...
I love the Halloween specials.
The Dino Charge one is pretty cool with
Yeah.
the ghost. Halloween comes to life as the Power Rangers must fend off Dracula. There's a Christmas special. Rangers look to celebrate Christmas, but find their holiday rudely interrupted. So with those specials,
Rumor has it that the Christmas episode is supposed to be the episode with the villain from Dino Charge.
the villain from Sledge.
Sledge.
Yeah, I mean they did show him show up, but we never got anything out of it.
So,
Wow.
did you see JDS blogs?
No, not recently.
There's one in there where they're shooting like sledges in one of the things that he shot. It's pretty crazy.
I could have sworn last time we were here, last time Peter was here, he said he had no idea about the whole Sledge thing.
He didn't, and that was New York last year.
Yeah,
New York, yeah.
last year, and he was just like, I'm just gonna say that I don't know what happened there. So like I was under the impression that was just like weird footage and it was never gonna happen. But I guess it is.
So let's go to the chat and see what you guys are. You guys excited about some of these episodes? We're gonna take your chat comments right now.
The voice one and her merging with the Ninja Prism, maybe.
Yep. That's merging with the Ninja
If
Prism.
it makes her more menacing than she is now, or than she's not.
I will say this about the villain this week is that the voice for the villain this week was great.
Yeah.
I like the voice acting a lot for this week.
They're actually like investing a little bit into the voice acting.
Yeah, it wasn't like
category.
hey ha ha ha.
He was kind of menacing, right? He had like that deep,
a deeper
kind
voice.
of reminded you a little bit of Goldar type.
There's another
Yeah,
super chat,
yeah,
guys.
that's
This is from
gurgle.
Common Ranger. I wonder if they will use the Mido Ranger by the end.
Middle Ranger.
Mido Ranger, is that the green one?
Maybe.
Do some research.
Well, yeah. So because
Please,
they're gonna
keys
throw
are
out
clacking,
anything.
they're gonna
Yeah,
find it.
it's green something.
Oh.
I don't know what that means,
I
man.
don't.
This isn't Super Sentai. That's the next show.
He's not paying attention.
But yeah, I do like the voice acting in this, but revert back. Let's see what other people are saying. Masked Rider Blue had a terrible day. #show. Hopefully saves the day. We are going to save your day, Masked Rider Blue. Just wait. Just you wait.
Just you wait.
We also got some great programming coming up here on that #show. Elle gets the spotlight shining on her tonight.
You guys voted for
She has
it.
a dragon
You guys voted.
sword.
See, I love it because you guys voted for it. It's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I'm
it.
excited.
Look at that. We listened.
You got
to
out of
what
the
you
hot
guys
chair
said.
last week a little bit.
Yeah.
I have more questions for you though. So this actually relates to
He's laughing.
this actually relates to this episode,
Okay.
this specific.
Okay.
So one thing we didn't touch upon that I said we were going to was Realm.
Okay. Is it this? I mean, this is Ranger related.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put you on the hot spot.
I can. I'll ask a question.
But let's. You have your issues there, but I'm excited to talk to Elle tonight. We're gonna be hanging out, probably deep diving into her life, just like we did yours. Maybe not as deep though.
She said,
Dang! Oh, PG.
All right. We do have an announcement to make. Oh yeah, let's go to some of the chats here. We got Fia Games 10. I have a theory that episode 17, when the Superstar Ninja may show up, and it's all because it's all about Levi. Okay.
Here's a theory.
DDT says all the teabaggers better watch Elle's highlight.
teabag.
Boy.
We should have a video of just like compilation video of just video games where they're just teabagging.
Yeah, whatever happened to my
And then
were the
play a song,
outtakes that are supposed to
yeah.
play at the end of these shows?
You guys are just doing this so perfectly that you guys don't have any bloopers.
Oh, that's not true. Well, I guess the shows that I'm on, I guess that would make a lot of sense now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no bloopers. No bloopers from you. 'Cause you're so perfect.
Let's go on to our next topic. We're going to spend very little time on this because there's not much of a story here.
No.
Besides Christiani. She is pregnant, so congratulations. Christiani Lopez and your boyfriend. She's 5 months pregnant. She looks great. And congratulations. She's going to be She's going to be a mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Larry has a super chat. He says, Jezzer, you still have your stripper man thong?
No, I don't. I think I got rid of it
Thank God.
like really close to when I did that.
You're a party boy.
Yeah, my part. Oh, I should do that should be my Halloween costume.
Party boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that she's bummed out. I don't think she's as happy as she says
Oh.
on Instagram.
What are you talking
Christiani
About-
about being pregnant.
This just took a weird turn.
I'm sorry. I
That's
just
a very controversial statement.
She invests.
How can I get off of this so I'm not involved in what's about to happen, guys?
She invested.
Jezzer, maybe you don't want to talk anymore. Just
Yeah. This is one of the dumbest statements I think
No,
you've
I
ever
just said
made.
she invests a lot of time in fitness, and now
Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you can't be fit, you moron.
And actually, it's a kind of a cool challenge to see, like, okay, this is how much work I've done, how my body's going to be able to snap back. And then if
Yeah,
it
that's it. Hold
doesn't,
on.
I get to
I have a question for
push
you.
and then
Yeah.
get even better. Like, oh,
How
man,
do you
dope.
think all pregnant women just get big and they blow? Like, everybody's different. You do realize body types are just
I
different.
understand that. I'm just saying she invests a lot of time in trying to stay fit, and this is kind of like benching her for a little bit for like 9 or 10 months.
Why?
She could still
do you
stay
think
fit.
That
Wait, what?
That doesn't make
I
any
just don't
sense.
know. I think she's really excited about it. I mean, I think like for the physical aspect. I think
Did
that's
you read
completely
this?
on the
You
back
should
burner.
read her
I don't think she
Instagram.
cares
My
about
goal
it at
is to
all.
stay in good shape and stay healthy through the
okay.
entire pregnancy.
There you go.
Does that benefit the baby though?
Yes, it
Why
does.
wouldn't it?
Do it. Yeah,
Now, why doesn't she kick
there's
back,
all that
drink a few
stuff.
beers, and smoke a few cigarettes? Maybe that'll benefit the baby
Yeah.
more,
Maybe,
you
I think it
moron.
might.
A strong body will be able to sustain an even stronger baby, and that's a good
Man,
thing.
sometimes I wonder to myself, if I'm not around, how does Jezzer make it through a show?
I don't-
Do you
but,
think?
But Jezzer, I know that Jezzer is happy that she's that she's got a kid, right? That she's pregnant. I know you're happy
Why is
for
that?
her.
Why is that?
Why wouldn't you be happy for
Oh,
someone? That's a
yeah,
big
fine.
moment.
She's like, she's bringing a baby
You're like,
into
oh
the
man,
world.
that's
Cool.
great.
You don't like
For her.
kids, huh?
I love kids.
You don't like pregnant ladies.
Wow. Did you hear the pitch when he said I love kids? Did anyone?
Layla says, Jezzer, just shut up. You're digging yourself a big hole. That's what she said. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll listen.
Yeah, I don't understand. That was the most ignorant statement I think I've heard. Besides you giving Daniel Nagami his Instagram handle or whatever.
Oh,
His
yeah,
Battlestar handle. Everyone's ears perked up.
I was like, is he gonna do it?
Oh, man.
We're just getting off that hashtag.
I do think it's. Listen. Congratulations, Christiani. She looks great right now, and she's gonna look even more beautiful and radiant. Is the word I keep hearing with pregnant ladies.
Radiant, you're
So
glowing
good for you,
pink.
Christiani. Congratulations. I'm sure your baby's gonna be healthy and a fitness freak.
Congrats.
Itself. I don't know if
It's
it's
a
a boy or
great thing.
girl.
It's a great thing.
But congratulations to the happy couple. Give shout outs to Christiani on Twitter and Instagram, whatever social media she has. She's at the gym all the time, so it won't be hard to find her. Let's take it to another level and talk about Go-Go Power Rangers number 13. Who's Jezzer? Master Rider Blue wants to know. Well, go watch the Spotlight and you can find out all about him.
Actually, yeah, that's the best way to find out.
That's your new
about
name,
it.
the pregnancy
Who's
hater.
Jezzer? Who's Jezzer? The name is right there, man.
No,
The
but
name is right there.
Well, no, but
I'm right here.
he wants to know who you are, and I think he can find out by watching last week's Spotlight.
There you go. Go for it.
So,
That's it, man.
is that your new name? Which one do you like better? Jezzer. Well, let's vote on some Jezzer nicknames. We got Cookie Face.
Okay.
We got Lil JD.
That's not my favorite.
And we got the pregnancy hater.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
the one that just
Yeah,
came up in the
that's
chat
one.
right now.
That's the one.
Okay.
So which one are you?
I'm more. I don't like the little JD thing.
I do like the little JDs. You're just
That's
like them.
Probably my least favorite one. But okay.
Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. We got to talk about Go-Go Power Rangers number 13.
Yeah.
Jezzer, look at that beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I
Jeez,
love
man.
this. I love this series so much. Walk us through what we're going to be seeing in issue 13.
Well, one thing I'm excited about with Go-Go, they always have like the the best like variant covers.
Oh yeah, man.
Like where it's like a parody of a movie or a
Like our T-shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Like this.
Except ours are done a little bit better.
It's kind of interesting how they kind of figured to make that a thing after we.
No, they did it
they've
before.
been doing it
I'm
before.
just playing.
But we just
had
did
to
them.
do
Starts to beat.
We just did them better. Toku says he does a super chat. He says Jezzer hating on kids and kids shows shame on you, Jezzer. Shame on you.
Okay, Toku. I love kids. They're
That sounds
great.
weird when you say it like that.
That's exactly what he said before.
Okay, so let's talk about the comic. What are we going to be seeing in this preview? It's right in front of you, Jezzer. What are you excited about seeing?
We're actually gonna get a little bit. We're gonna go into the lives of the Power Rangers before they even became Power Rangers.
Oh no way!
Yeah, like
the
here
stuff I love.
we're gonna get a Zack story. We're gonna see how Zack came to be, which is pretty cool. I kind of want to see how Billy got brought up. Like,
I think the interesting part about Go-Go was that Billy Skull relationship we saw when they were kids.
that would
they
be
were
that'd be really
They were
good
like
to see.
best friends, and then Skull ended up with Bulk, and then they started bullying him.
Yeah.
So,
And then
yeah.
it's a really good book, man.
I think they're gonna probably that would be interesting if they do.
Leave little JD alone.
Who said that?
TDT.
But yeah, I want to learn more about Billy. I don't think there's much to learn about Kimberly. Maybe Jason's life, with his parents getting divorced and all that. Maybe Jason's life, but I think probably Billy's story is going to be the most interesting part of the next coming up Go-Go Power Rangers things. They're also going to get Pudgy Pig back, or he's going to be featured in one of the comics.
One of the most iconic villains of the week.
I am still looking for that Funko Pop at GameStop.
Oh man, you're like I need to find.
Yeah,
it.
Pudgy Pig and the Pumpkin Rapper. Still looking for those.
The Pumpkin Rapper. Yes, please.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got bars.
Yeah.
Well, the Hate Monster versus Pumpkin Rapper
We
would be a
talked
cool
about that,
rap off.
The which one?
Hate Monster, because he was a rapper too.
Oh, okay.
That's the next Morphicon. We're gonna do a rap battle with the Hate Monster and Pumpkin Rapper.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to make a Pudgy Pig do that. Or no,
a full
what's
full
that,
battle.
What was that
like,
turtle with the
With a
the
stoplight?
Oh,
that'd be a
yeah.
good one. So you don't see a lot of people like make
Do the monsters. That's a great
yeah.
point.
You don't see a lot of people make monsters. You see a bunch of like Green Rangers and Red Rangers,
We
but
should.
no
So
monsters.
we need. To
I
make one.
haven't seen it in the chat in a long time, and I think he should make his own monsters. Jalen Glover, the throat screwer, have like a
where's he been?
screw right there. Take it out.
And then
It's a good one.
Ratwing. We're gonna see Ratwing at
Yeah, how
at
come
New
we
York.
don't? He said he's not going to New York this year. How come we
going
don't
to
see a
New York.
Ratwing cosplay?
Yeah, we need a Ratwing costume.
If we could get a Ratwing cosplayer, if
be
someone could
great.
set that up, or probably even draw what you think Ratwing would look like, send it to.
THS at thathashtagshow.com. You send us your Ratwing fan art. We're gonna post it on next week's show.
Fan
That's
art would
right.
be great.
That's
Actually,
right.
if you fan art for any Power Rangers stuff, if you guys send us your fan art, that'd be really awesome.
Heck yeah, man! I mean, why not?
Because I know there's a few of you guys that are like really good artists, or you guys are always like sending me it on
Dude,
Facebook.
you know what? The best one, we'll post it on our Instagram.
That would be
Yeah,
good.
that's
That'd be a
fair.
good
Best one, we'll post on our Instagram.
So we're gonna dive deep into the past of the Power Rangers in Go-Go number 13. But
Yeah.
the Power Ranger article that probably did the best for us this week is the Tommy Soul of the Dragon preview.
how could
Josh,
that not be the one
yeah.
that actually did it? Because everyone wants to know anything there is about that story right now. It is what everyone's talking about, man.
When's it come out? November.
Yeah, I believe it says sometime in the
Ooh,
winter
we
here.
should talk to JDF about it.
Well, we will in New York. We're
Yeah.
going to talk to him all about
so
it in
we
New
can-
York.
But the thing is,
That's a
I
copy.
think he should, if you guys try to set it up where, I'll tell later.
Yeah.
I'll tell you after.
Should we just call JDF now?
No,
Hey,
because we're
can
gonna
you
get
That
bring-
spoilers.
broke my phone.
We're gonna get spoilers out of it.
You broke your phone?
No, it's a scratch. It's cracked. It is cracked though.
Damn.
Yeah, like a little crack. See that?
Jeez.
That's cool.
Hairline fracture. Hairline.
Soul the Dragon.
Soul the Dragon. Let's talk about it. Chat me up about Soul the Dragon, Jezzer.
Well, we got some stuff like earlier on that he's going to be on a mission to find his son JJ, and he's going to be recruiting some help from past Rangers, Time Force Rangers. It looks like there's going to be. This is an alien character.
Yeah.
Does this look like a character from the Power Rangers mythos?
Not that I know of.
Does it
Not
look-
that I know.
Yeah, I mean that would be interesting.
I would love to see him team up with a villain.
With a villain, who do you
Yeah,
think
to get his son now, like that's the thing. Like to see him, like you're always like, oh damn, I didn't know he would compromise some things for this, but it makes sense.
So we know that we're in the future because now I don't even know if he's on Earth, but the world is populated with,
monsters,
aliens.
Yeah.
You say monsters? How dare you? That's a
Well,
racist term for
and
aliens.
He's walking through an alien. Club,
You
like,
are
right there.
alien hater. You're also an alien hater. So look at you. You're unsympathetic to pregnant women and aliens. So now you just call them monsters. Dude.
They're monsters.
Wow. Wow. I mean, if I've heard anything as wow. I need a drink. My God.
I'm excited.
I'm not a big fan of his jacket though. He kind of looks like Captain Cold from
or Sabretooth.
or yeah, Sabretooth too. But,
you don't like that fur? That Sherpa, whatever it's called?
It kind of reminds me of
Dude is
Squall.
dope.
I actually,
dope,
no
man.
joke, I actually have that jacket.
Ooh, you should cosplay.
I'm gonna
Oh
wear it.
my God,
I'm gonna wear it.
That
I
exact-
do
that
actually
exact
have
jacket?
I won't be here next week. I'll be in Texas next week. Anybody in Austin that wants to come hang out, I'll be in Austin, Texas next week at Fan Festival. No, Fantastic Fest.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Well, okay. The week after, I think you should show up.
I might not even be there.
Come on,
We'll
man.
see. I think I might be here
when,
then.
No. When we have to do a review of that,
I'm gonna wear that Tommy jacket.
That's genius.
But yeah, I'm excited about this for a couple reasons. Number one, and notice that we haven't seen Tommy in any of his morphed states here in any of these previews.
Dino Thunder.
We do get Dino Thunder later on in the previews. But the rumor has it is that Turbo is going to be a big part of this, which I'm excited about.
You think that'll be like his last form, his ultimate form that helps take down the monsters? Or whatever?
I don't know, but I think that the Red Turbo, and Turbo in general might be kind of cool because I think that that's the one underrated. It's not underrated. It's not good, but it's the one underrated suit I feel that he always portrays. It never gets any love.
Yeah. And then one cool thing is that they're integrating the Master Morpher in this comic.
Yeah,
So
I do like that.
so they've been holding on to this Master Morpher thing for a while. Yeah,
Definitely a while.
It's gonna be interesting to see who he interacts with, which past Rangers that he's gonna come across, who he's gonna enlist to help him out. And it's definitely, since it's JJ's trying to be a recruit for Time Force, we're definitely going to see...
Not Time Force, SPD.
Oh, SPD. Okay, then never mind. We're not going to see Jason Font. We're not going to see Jason Font's character. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see if he morphs into... I mean, in the cover, he's in all the Ranger forms, but like I want to see how he did in that anniversary episode where he's just switching back and forth. It's like, this monster can't deal with this form. Or he has to keep
exactly.
Doing,
So he has to show over.
I mean, I'm excited for this book on multiple levels. I am, again, as you, Jezzer, excited to see if they touch on if he's... I mean, obviously, I think Catherine's probably in this episode.
Definitely.
Catherine probably has to be in this because that's like his wife in this era.
Right.
There's a lot of people that aren't cool with that, or they're not happy that. That's
Let me
who he
ask
ended
you,
up with.
Tommy, should he have ended up with Catherine or Kimberly?
No.
Or anybody else?
No, I don't think he should have ended up with Kimberly. That Dear John letter means so much, and I love the whole story.
Well,
I wouldn't want it not to happen. So no, he doesn't get Kimberly.
Didn't you see how he reacted when he saw her again in that Turbo movie?
Yes, and the thing is, still, it's unrequited love, and I love knowing that you don't get everything. You don't get everything, and it gives a little bit of truth to it, and that's what makes it great. Because sometimes the truth stings; it bites just a little bit, but everything else is still good. So I love it.
About you, who should he have ended up with?
Doesn't that make Kat feel like an afterthought? Like, oh, I'm just a consolation prize. His true love was always Kimberly.
Will you feel like that if you're dating someone who dated someone else before you? No, it's just someone that they dated before.
And it's like early high school. I mean, do you remember your girlfriend from freshman year of high school? Because I'll tell you what, if that was my Kimberly, I would much rather have ended up with Catherine. Like, that was an afterthought.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
Australian with the accent and blonde hair. Yeah.
I mean, look. I mean, everybody. I mean, the more iconic relationship I would probably say is Tommy and Kimberly. Mm-hmm. But even still, like, it doesn't really. I feel like as long as they went out, it's like, did they ever really even go out as a couple? Like maybe a handful of times.
Who, Kimberly or Kat?
Kimberly. Even with Kat, like you didn't really get to see it that much in the show.
No,
you only saw it a couple
they
times.
had that one episode where she lost her makeup bag. And
that one episode,
Yeah.
huh? That one episode.
Did they ever refer to each other as boyfriend or girlfriend?
I think so. I mean,
I
I'm
don't think
sure.
it was ever said.
There has to be a time where they do what they did.
Now let's just. I feel like there's a lot of Tommy haters out there. I'm not one of them. I do like Tommy way more than Jason as a character.
His character? Okay.
Yeah.
Tommy's the worst.
There's so much more that I've gotten from Tommy.
People might.
why.
That's an I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but I mean, look. Like, how come nobody ever makes fun of that Jason never wore sleeves? How come we don't ever talk about that?
But we do.
His arms were just too big for sleeves.
No, we talk about
Like,
that.
he
We talk
couldn't-
about his trauma that he
His
dealt
dad
with.
didn't wear sleeves.
Exactly.
He
This
couldn't.
trauma, man.
He couldn't go to the sleeves are too small. He couldn't go to the next size shirt because it'll look too big on him.
Okay,
I
Jezzer,
understand where that's
clearly
coming
you
from.
don't want the Retro Ranger wrap up because we know exactly what happened.
If you ever,
We had a whole expose on it, man.
Didn't you at Long Beach Comic Con not wear sleeve? Weren't you like cosplaying as Jason?
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
that's
I
what you were
didn't.
doing.
The sleeves are just so
No, see, the
constricting.
trauma that he suffers is that his dad doesn't allow sleeves in the house, man.
It doesn't.
rips
He
them
walks
off
in
before.
and if he's like, "Where are you going dressed like that?"
Hey, you're a Scot. Take off those
Because the dad-
sleeves.
the dad didn't have sleeves
And he,
either?
yeah, and he rips them off and he sends them on his way.
Yeah, sleeves are so
If
constricting.
he comes in the house wearing sleeves, it's like he was doing drugs or something.
Even-
This is what you've done in the family, you know.
Here's
horrible.
my comment. So I know that like Mask Rider Blue says Tommy is okay, not a fan of JDF. I'll be honest with you, 100%. If JDF wasn't as vocal about the community that he is, the Power Ranger fan base
Very
would not
true.
be what it is.
Very true. If JDF,
Right there.
okay,
That's
the
complete
first
truth.
person that did con appearances really was
Johnny.
Young Bosch.
Yep.
But if JDF didn't jump on and start doing that too, nobody else would have.
Morpher, it would be
Nobody
an
else would've.
afterthought.
Yeah, they would have been like, no, I'm not gonna do it. You know, and no one knew that there's a big group of fans that wanted it, and
Yeah.
it's a huge part of conventions.
Yeah.
Most of the big conventions have at least one Power Ranger there. So
We got another super chat. Jezzer, that's from DDT Cosplay, says, Jezzer, rip off your sleeves. Rip your sleeves off.
The fans want it.
Shirt. But it's true.
Common
like,
Ranger says Rocky tries to be Jason in those episodes. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I mean, he doesn't try to be Jason. Honestly,
No.
I
Tries
don't
to be
know
a
why. It's so funny. Like Jason's a fine character. Is he this?
Fine, he's
Is
okay.
he this legendary Power Ranger that everyone makes about?
No.
No.
He got like 4 lines, and he got more lines than the rest of those legendary Rangers in that
He's the
episode.
first.
I honestly, he's the first Red Ranger, sure, and he's the first
That's
leader of
why.
the team, sure. But is he this legendary status Ranger? No.
No.
Who's the most popular astronaut?
Neil
That
Armstrong.
list? Why is that?
It's not Buzz.
Buzz Aldrin, sure, or Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, he was the first one on the moon, right?
Which one was the first one? No.
Neil Armstrong.
Neil
right?
Armstrong.
And then Buzz was
So like the first. Oh, look, he doesn't have sleeves.
right.
Go figure.
That's it.
I feel his
Those
pain. Look,
guns,
his
dude.
arms are huge.
I mean, look, there's a
makes
lot.
sense.
There's a
Yes.
lot to be said, and I think that honestly, I do think that JDF gets a bad rep because he does make a return. I mean, look, realistically, there's a lot of actors they reach out to that don't want to come back, but
Yeah.
nobody's ever talking about that. Literally, if you go and watch our MMPR panel,
Oh boy.
Walter Jones says, "Hey, I'm not coming back unless I'm getting paid this amount of money."
Yeah, see?
Whereas JDF said, "I'll come back for like whatever."
Yeah.
He comes back. He does. I mean, for Power Morphicon, did he go for a big payout? Not really, right? I mean, it's,
No, I mean,
Well, see,
with
I
the
think
Saban
that's-
era,
I
are they
think-
paying anybody?
See, I think that's the whole thing. That's being part of the Saban era and then doing cons and everything like that. What he's saying is, I feel I'm worth more, even though I'll go to a con that doesn't pay me a whole lot because that's for the fans.
Toku
But
also
if
says-
you're gonna have me do something for my art, I should be paid more.
Toku says Jezzer thinks every alien is evil. Betty hates mutants that are trying to live. You are. This is why you did vote for Donald Trump. I'm gonna put that out there. That's a true story.
That is not
Cassandra
a true
hates
story.
at
That is not-
Jezzer
that is
Zeus.
not a
At
true story.
Jezzer
That is
Zeus
not-
on
it's for the
Twitter.
record that I did not vote this year. That's not true. Don't.
You
no,
shifted
they're
this
Oh,
coming
you
country.
at me.
didn't vote at all
This
this
is what
year.
your
Wow.
fault is.
Wow.
You did not
I'm
change the
sorry.
country.
I am so
Civic
sorry.
liberal
I'm
duty.
sorry.
Wow.
Oh man. Anyways, back to this Jason versus
Problematic.
Tommy debate. There's a reason why we're not seeing Jason in the
What are you doing?
the Jason solo episode. At Jezzer
What are you
Zeus.
doing?
I'm up on Twitter right there.
Look at that. Look at that. It's so horrible that he would say such a thing. Like, it just, wow, Jezzer. Could you please, like, contain all of this hate?
I'm not doing
Well, you
anything.
clearly
I'm just,
are. You're behind
I'm
the
just
keyboard.
saying things.
You're behind the keyboard.
And you guys are like,
What's that in front of you? What's that in front
Yeah,
of you?
hey,
Keyboard.
Senator Robert Kelly, relax.
Yeah, I think you typed it.
You should be a character on Power Rangers. Is like, oh, I hate all monsters. Like, death to all. That's you, Cosmic
you,
Protectors.
like, in the-
You.
yeah,
That's
that's
you.
gonna be you.
That's gonna be your thing. You're a monster racist.
All these monsters,
Don't
and they're like,
say
oh,
that.
why would you
Don't
say that
say
word,
that.
monsters? And he's like, I don't like monsters.
You
Oh,
filthy
oh,
monster.
He said the
You
M
filthy
word. He said the M word.
No, but I think that with me personally, with this whole the JDF haters, Man, this is what divides Power Ranger fan bases to me. I think that when you choose a civil war like this, it's one of the dumbest things you can possibly do.
It's an imaginary civil war, too. You're the only ones participating in it.
I mean, I feel like, look, it's gotten to a level where it's like, me personally, yeah, I like Tommy more than Jason.
Yeah.
And the reason why is like, one dude wanted to carry the franchise and the other guy didn't. Straight up. I like them both as people. But you have to think, listen, this is one thing that baffles me.
Oh, man,
one
don't
dude,
make that a hashtag. Please don't make that.
What's the
hashtag
hashtag?
Jezzer Reyes. Don't make that a hashtag.
Don't make
No.
that a hashtag. No.
Jezzer's a monsterist. Get it right.
I will say this. One guy left Power Rangers and the other guy didn't. One guy walked out on you, the other guy didn't.
Whoa.
There you go.
Yes, very
saying.
true.
Whoa.
Now everybody, it's
Shooting
true,
heads
true
today.
story, guys. No, I actually do, but
Joe was
realistically,
talking to people like this today.
that's one thing.
you.
That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
The other way of looking at it is people were getting paid unfair, like not paid wages,
Yes.
which they deserved.
Yes.
But that's the truth. I mean,
And that's why Walter is saying what he's saying. Like,
chalk it up to what you want. The reason why one dude's more popular is because of that exactly.
No, it is
and
true.
I don't
That
think
is true.
any way you want to cut it. Yeah, sure. Was that the right decision to leave? Morally, and morally for sure. But financially
you
and in
look
the
at the
long
future?
term, it's a lot different. You gotta definitely take the good and the bad. And I respect Austin, Twee, and Walter for leaving because they made the right decision
them at that
for
time,
them with their morality. But at the same time, like you can't, fans can't blame the people that stayed because if let's be honest, when kids happened when JDF left the show originally. They wrote a campaign to bring them back. It wasn't just for shits and giggles, you know.
Can I say this though? If this were to happen,
Little JD burnt.
if this were to happen now with like social media being how it is and how internet is, I think that they would Saban would have had to falter and keep the three of them because, they would have blown it up. They would have blown it up.
Well, yeah, I mean, and this is what's baffling about me about this, just kind of in general, right?
Yeah.
I feel that it's kind of strange that these dudes are getting paid such low wages, and they're getting away with it. How come nobody's saying anything? And it's like
there are actually laws now that prevent stuff like this from happening.
Well, yeah, this is America. There are laws in this country.
Bitch.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry,
well,
I just had to.
PG-13.
But yeah, I mean, if it was now, they wouldn't be able to get away with that, or
Yeah.
Saban wouldn't be able to get away
True.
with that.
Very true.
So
Man, I don't know.
times are different back then. And they thought
I love
that
that phrase.
they thought
Times
that
were
they
different
thought
back
that
then.
they could challenge the whole labor law stuff, but I mean they were young. They probably didn't have the counsel that they needed. Like, oh, what's gonna happen?
you're an idiot. Here's
So
the thing.
What'd you say there?
I think that there's a lot to be said. Like we're pulling the curtain. This show's about Power Rangers, not labor laws. But like,
Right.
I feel that at the end of the day, the Power Rangers are so many of them. Why? Look, Haim Saban is a dude that made billions of dollars.
Billions.
We're not talking millions.
No. It's
Billions of
Billions.
dollars, right? And it's like he did it off the backs of these kids, straight up. That is what sweatshops do.
Lou Pearlman?
Like Lou Pearlman, that's the same thing. This is what those companies do. I'm honestly surprised that there's not a documentary exposing Haim
I have
Saban.
said this, and I was.
Well, guess what? We're here to announce here at that hashtag show. We're here to announce here at that hashtag show. A documentary is on its way about Haim Saban.
Oh my
With
attention
your
to our
favorite Power
Kickstarter.
Rangers participating.
Dude, that would be
our
so.
Kickstarter.
That would
it's
be so
going down
crazy.
today.
We've talked
Exclusively on Netflix. No.
Oh my god.
about it. You know the toys that made us? We're going the opposite way. We did get a super chat. It says Jason is a better character than given credit for, but his friendship with Tommy that makes both characters stand out in my opinion. I agree. Now, Johnny's dancing in the back. He's a Jason character. He's Jason's favorite guy.
Well, you're not gonna
But
like
he
this.
didn't say he's a better character than Tommy. He just says he's a better character than what he's given credit for. That's it.
Okay.
I do think this. I think that in terms of characters, you know what? As many people want to talk poorly, and this isn't obviously as we're Power Ranger fans, we kind of overlook this, but a lot of people that aren't in Power Rangers like, oh, the acting's so bad. Well, guess what? When Austin St. John and Jason David Frank were on set together, the acting was pretty good because I actually believe that they were best friends. For real. I really did. I really did. With that comment, I think I'm going to wrap things up.
I think
Great acting.
But I'm going to, do you want me to step off? Should we bring the other guys in? No? All right. We're going to end this show right now. And if you like what we do, you can follow us on social media. You can follow Daniel at
Battlestar Galactica.
Right. And then
I'm not gonna say
you
that
can
one.
follow Jezzer at
Jezzer Zeus on all social media.
and you can follow me at that hashtag Joe. But if you want to follow Jezzer and give him more heat, I
bit more.
suggest sticking around just a second for the Henshin Hangout
Bring on the
because he's going to be on Henshin Hangout. Get all the we're going to call it now. And the racist is too harsh. The monsterist.
Yeah, they're the
Little
monsters.
JD, the monstrous is a good one.
Yeah.
So the monstrous. So guys, Jezzer is going to stay on the show. We are going to depart. You can watch me just a little bit later on After Dark. The spotlight is on Elle tonight, and Jezzer is about to be on the show. So give him heat. Join him over at the Henshin Hangout right now.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.